From the dawn of man, indigenous people from every corner of the globe have spoken of things that have now been discounted as myth or legend. Things they saw, lived alongside by, were looked upon as deities or worshipped by gods. Things that present-day man refer to as entities, spirits, demons, cryptid creatures, extraterrestrials, and much more. But sadly, modern man, science and society has discounted what our ancestors spoke of as legend and myths. But there are those of us that know what the ancient ones spoke of is the truth. Those of us who are obsessed with finding out the truth. This search for answers brings us into the world of the unknown and unexplained. It brings us on the trail, in search of living legends. Please join us tonight in another part of our journey to find these answers and bring the truth out into the light. Welcome and thank you for listening.
Hey, welcome everybody. We are back. It is 9/14/2025. This is going to be our premiere episode of On the Trail in Search of Living Legends, Season 8. We've got a excellent guest on for you tonight. Good friend of mine, very respectable guy, knows his stuff. Nick, who we got going tonight?
Well, we got Mike C. from Long Island, and we had Mike on before, and he's going to do a part 2 for us. And it seems like he's expanded the things that his normal stuff that he normally does, and he's expanded. And Mike, you said you're going into a little bit of Dogman now too, on top of everything else. And most people wouldn't think Long Island, New York, you don't have anything going on there, but no, you do. You got quite a few things.
Yeah. It's good to see you guys. I appreciate you having me back. I mean, it's always a pleasure. I feel like I've been here more, but I guess it's because we chop it up so much outside of here. But like Nick said, I kind of expanded a little bit. I've been doing more of the Dogman stuff, and I think we were saying, Jay, it's just a little exciting. I don't know, it's new.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's I don't know. Bigfoot came across my path, and then and I think I stumbled into Dogman's path, and I just kind of said, you know what, like let me see what I could figure out here, and I get that a lot too about the Long. I don't think you'd think there's not a lot here, and I mean I thought so, but that's kind of what I was programmed to understand. I didn't even think they would be in New York, period, but I didn't understand what New York was, right? I really didn't. You live in the Adirondacks, so you understand. Know what that... I mean, Adirondack Park is what, 6 million acres, something to that effect?
6.2.
Yeah, so you can...
Huge.
Yeah, you can fit Yellowstone Glacier, a couple of state parks.
It's bigger than Yellowstone Glacier, Yosemite, Everglades National, and there's one more. There's 5 of them that it's bigger than.
I believe it's the biggest state park in general.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I mean, I didn't really understand New York in general, let alone I didn't really understand Long Island, how big the Pine Barrens were here, and I can't cover it all, and I walk out there for hours and don't bump into a soul, not a soul. The only humans I come across, I shouldn't say people because we don't fully understand what Sasquatch are, right? But or Gold Man, I guess. But I mean, I have an inkling more, but let's stay on topic here. But poachers are probably the only thing that I come across, because who else goes off trail into the nasty, nasty stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the Pine Barrens, for lack of it's a desert, it's a barren, you know what I mean? It's a very dry, nasty. It's not a fun hike. Even if you're on a trail, it's not fun. As soon as you go in, you just 2 minutes into your hike, you start, feeling like things are crawling on you, the summer humidity. You guys, Nick, you've lived in Jersey. you know, like that humidity just like sticks to you and like.
Yeah. Our Pine Barrens down in South Jersey is
Yeah.
it's one miserable place.
They're actually, from my understanding, I mean, I wasn't alive way back when, but from what, you know, historians say is, our Pine Barrens are the same as the Jersey Pine Barrens. They were connected at one
Mm,
point, you know,
makes sense.
many moons ago. But who
Yeah.
knows? Even Cape Cod has a little bit of the same barrens, but I
Okay.
don't, you know, I don't know if that's the truth or not, but it was something
Right.
I was read a while back. Um, I don't pretend to know about a lot of things because I don't. if so, if there's a I'm not a big fact checker, I guess, when it comes to things I'm not interested in. History of geography is not really one of them. Now,
Not
I
your
do,
strong points, huh?
yeah. Now, I do. I mean, if I'm in a location, I do dig into it. Like, I was interested to find out, like, how much of a, you know, we're kind of like on a glacier here and stuff like that. How much quartz is under us, you know. Camp Hero being one of them. Montauk Camp Hero, like
Mm-hmm.
the inspiration for Stranger Things. We have Plum Island on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brookhaven Labs. All these places openly talk about these crazy tests, but to an extent, you know what I mean. And Montauk was Camp Hero was just one of those places that got caught. You know, they got the public caught wind of what they were doing, and you know, the government does these things everywhere, all over the place, right under our noses. You know,
Right.
probably in your hometown or near it, and we just don't.
Yeah.
We're just not privy to it.
I agree.
You know,
Totally.
and occasionally we catch wind of what they're doing, and it becomes an interesting story, I guess, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
it's,
Absolutely.
it's
Mike,
unfortunate, but we never really know the full history.
no, we don't. What do you think? What's your opinion? I've never asked it. As long as I've known you, I don't think I've ever asked you this. What do you think they are? Sasquatches. If you want to,
Uh,
don't mind sharing.
no, I don't. No, no. I'm an open book. I think that I would be ignorant to say I know uh, what they all are, like a blanket
Right.
statement across the globe, because
Right.
I've never been there. I've never been to a lot of places, and I don't know what a lot of people have laid their eyes on. The things that I've encountered, I think they are like ancient people to an
Yeah.
extent that are tapped in ways that we are not, like
Yeah.
uh, to the earth in general.
Right.
We're very far removed from uh, you know even we wear sneakers. You know what I mean? Like we don't touch
Exactly. Exactly.
we don't even touch the earth. We
Yep.
have ever like we never touch the earth. We go shopping for food. We go, you know what I mean? We pay for electricity. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I think they don't. I don't think they do any of the crap that we do. You know?
Right. Right. And I think they definitely have, like you were saying, there's abilities there that we just say we can't fathom.
Yeah. Well, if you've ever, like telepathy, like makes people go crazy about like, oh, there's no way, and that's just one of those easy solved things. And I always say, like, if you spend a lot of time with somebody, you can you can just look at them, right? Like, whatever, your
Yeah.
wife, for instance, right? You could just like she could be looking at you, and you're like, oh shit, like you know why she's
Yeah.
looking at
Absolutely.
you. You know what I mean? Like you
Absolutely. Yeah.
instantly, right? You know why she's looking at you, and you'll just start like it don't have to register on a verbal level. And then like a lot of people pray, right? Religion is a huge thing, and I don't like to tap on religion or politics so often, but I grew up Catholic, maybe against my own will, right? Like it was just like you're going to church,
Right.
whether it was a holiday or a Sunday, whatever the case was, and we would pray, and it was telepathically. Everybody would like receive communion, go back round, sit in the pew, and we would kneel and just telepathically talk to us,
Right. Right.
and nobody was saying talking out loud. You know what I mean? It was like and you expected that you were heard, and
Sure.
things like that. It's very I don't know, if you believe in it enough, right? And then there's a lot of people who say they know God exists, they know this, they know that, and that really, furthermore, even locks them in and connects them, you know.
Right.
So, I mean, we
Yeah.
know that these things are there because we've laid eyes on them, but
Right.
there's a lot of people out there that are still even searching for that level,
Yeah, exactly.
And as much as I understand it, I get it, like why people, "Oh, I just want to see one." I get that, but there's no turning back at that point.
No.
There's
So you can't unsee it.
yeah, you don't get that switch off button. You don't get to you know, just go fishing with your son and not, you know,
Be looking
you
over
know
your
what I
shoulder.
mean? Like
Yeah,
look over your shoulder,
absolutely.
whatever the case is. I don't know. It's interesting because
I get a lot of people, Mike,
yeah,
that have said that to me. I want to go out there. I want to see a Sasquatch. I want to see a dog man. Seriously? I mean, you see a dog man, for instance, that's 7.5 feet tall, 700 pounds.
right.
It's got claws out to here, and this thing looks, it's super muscular, terrifying. Say it does some sort of a growl. What are they going to do? They're going to poop themselves? I mean, seriously, it's not something that they're going to forget.
Exactly.
And if they do something dumb and turn and run, now you're the prey. It might chase you, and then you may not get back home.
Exactly.
So these people tell me they want to see all this stuff, and I kind of don't think they do. I mean, I've had the 3 occasions. I can't believe it. Three
There
occasions to see one. And I haven't seen a Sasquatch yet, but I have seen Dogman. So I have seen Chupacabra. Uh,
okay.
I have seen a Mothman-like being, flying in the sky from a distance. But I mean, just to see something like that, I can't believe people actually make that statement without thinking.
Well, yeah. It's it's blissful to be in that, and I hate to say it this way, but it is a state of ignorance almost because you think that's what you want, but it's just because you don't really know. You don't know what level that unlocks. You know what I mean? And it really is it's a lonely, lonely place to be the guy or the gal who saw these things,
Yes.
and then to be the one who talks about it, right? Because I mean,
Yep.
people throw darts for any reason at all. So to be the guy
Anything.
who saw, like, I'm the guy who saw the suburban Sasquatch in the place
Yeah.
that it's not supposed to be. Period.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
it's open season. Pow 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 with the remarks, the comments, the hate, and it is what it is, And I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could go, reverse back.
Yeah.
I don't think if I was given the option, the blue or the red pill, I don't think I would go back. But yeah, you know, it's not an
Yeah.
easy it's not an easy place to be.
It's not. It really isn't. Have you had any luck as far as your Dogman research goes yet?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
It's I don't push it like I used to. Yeah, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like I kind of have fun with it. I kind of test boundaries. I think I more do it for like the adrenaline and like the like I don't know, like I don't get pleasure in regular hobbies anymore and stuff like that, right? So like
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. So
Right.
like I'll go and like, oh, I got some extra time, some extra energy, some extra bucks. Maybe I'll just rent a cabin in the middle of nowhere and put out some bait, and like and or whatever, and like see what comes in, or like I'll place myself like at the only water like way, like the only little pond in the middle of the Pine Barrens or whatever, in the middle of the night, in a little tent, and like stuff like that. Like you know where they gotta come, and
Yeah.
after a while you start to get these little cheat codes, and like you know what they're gonna do, and don't mind you, they doesn't even matter because they're super predators, right? And
Absolutely.
when you hear people talk about super predators, I don't think they fully get it. Like an orca is a super predator. That thing
Yeah.
could kill humans all day, every single day, and across the globe, they know we better not do that because they know what happens.
Exactly.
It's not because they can't just boom take us and eat us. They
Because they
know
can't.
the repercussions.
Yes.
I do believe Dogman is the same way, in the sense that it is whether it's a pack animal or not, it could kill at will, do what it pleases.
Yeah.
Stay below the radar, just like a whale does below the ocean. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen them in places where I mean, they're laying flat, looking like whatever, right? And I kind of know what it is and but I'm not going closer to it. Even you know what I mean? It's like even if
Yeah.
I see it, I'm not gonna go towards it. If you saw a
Right.
sleeping bear or a sleeping mountain lion, would you go towards it? No. So why would you go
Hell
towards
no.
something? So why would you go towards something
Right.
like so much bigger and sketchier and I don't know. I don't know. I don't. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's for sure, without a doubt. To
Oh
me,
yeah.
they're more intimidating than a Sasquatch.
Oh, for sure.
By
Just the
far,
look. Just
Hands
absolutely
down.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
hands
Hands down.
down. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Sasquatch, as far as what I've seen, is relatable. It's
Right.
relatable to us. Dogman is not us. It ain't. There's
Right.
nothing human in that thing, except it stands up. But
Yeah.
I don't think, honestly, I don't think when it stands up, it's like better off. Like I don't know. I don't know why they stand up, honestly, because they whatever. I mean, they're just as good, I think, standing up as they are on all fours. So
Oh, cool. Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
That's a good question, Mike. I never thought about that one before. Are they better off on 2 feet, or are they better off on four? You know what I mean? I
Well,
I
thought of
just
haven't
like
it.
seen.
just think about it, just like a bear. A bear
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
go up on its hind legs to sniff. It's sniffing out prey. It's sniffing out something it hears. So it gets a better catch on things. What's
Yeah.
going on?
I
So
always, Nick, I always thought they got off on a fear, like a little bit, if that makes sense. And I feel
Yeah.
like they know that it's gonna scare us more to if that makes sense, to be up. Like
it does.
they
They're
won't, they
total.
won't come back in here. You know what I mean? Let's not
Right.
misidentify
Well,
ourselves as a coyote or some shit. Like
Right.
let's send these guys running.
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
different than Sasquatch. Sasquatch wants to stay out of your way, but these things have no fear about showing themselves, and for some
None.
odd reason, they.
Well,
You're right. Put the
I've
fear in you.
experienced so many positives with Sasquatch too.
Yeah.
No inklings of like anything scary, yeah, all right, in the moment, but when you remove yourself from it, from the shock factor and the emotions and the fear based off just size and strength and oh, that thing could rip my neck from my shoulders by flicking me, like
Yeah.
okay, when you remove all the trauma and emotion of what the hell did I just look at, there was really nothing scary. And I've had them even interfere where they've gotten between me and things of that could do that to me. And
Yeah.
so I put I put every penny I have every single week of the month that a dog man would never ever do that for us. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
not even
Right.
involved. Whatever. Period. I just don't think so, and I think it does pose more of like a uh I don't know.
Threat. Like a
Yeah,
threat to humans.
yeah. Like I've heard people say that, oh, I was attacked by a Sasquatch, and I was attacked, and I'm like, and when I hear the story, I say they weren't attacked. They're very emotional, and I get why they feel like they were attacked, but they weren't. Um, and that's my opinion, but I'm far removed from it, right? And I always say that you could have 5 people in a row, 10 people in a row, whatever, and a rock can come out of the darkness, right? Timmy
Yep.
will say it was an acorn, came from up above. Uh, Johnny will say, "Oh, that was a freaking Nolan Ryan pitch." James will say, "Well, that came from an arc over here, and I think I was attacked." And this guy will say, "It was funny. I think it was just playful." The same thing
Yeah.
happened to everybody, but they
Yeah.
all have a different take and a
Right.
different view, and that's just the way it goes. And we're all products of our environment and handle situations differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah, they're definitely different, two different creatures altogether. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Behavior, looks, I mean, everything. There's, like you said, Mike. There's nothing. There's nothing human about a dog man.
You know, I don't think so. Like Nick said way earlier, I don't know if we're alive yet or not, but he said something about their claws.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think those are nails. I don't
No.
think they're nails. I think they're you know, it's not like
Oh,
you know,
there.
they're
Yeah.
claws, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I remembered more details about the good look I got at one, you know, when it was
Yeah.
like two of them actually, but they caught me off guard. They were bounding towards me like freaking kangaroos. Like I
Oh
don't,
my god.
yeah, like I mean, I don't remember any noise. I know they were like snarling, like you know, what's that damn storybook with the red coat girl?
Oh,
Little Red
Little Red
Riding
Riding
Hood.
Hood.
Yeah, you know, like when the things.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an illustration from my past or whatever, but that was what was going on. Like, I mean, I saw teeth. I saw, you know, these things were pissed.
Oh man.
Yeah, they were pissed, and I was scared. And that's exactly. And then you said something earlier, like people would turn and run. It's exactly what you want to do, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't turn your back to it. So now I'm backpedaling and backpedaling back, but you know, and I got to now, you know, you got to make your way out safely, and taking your eyes
Yeah.
off them is not. It's not an
No,
option.
not an option. Not
Yeah.
whatsoever.
I'll tell you, some of the best claw marks that I've gotten, dogman claw marks, were in Pennsylvania, northern Pennsylvania, just above where they have the casinos. We were called there. I went there with a team of 7
Yeah.
guys, and there was not bear claw marks because there's a total difference.
It's
But
like
yeah,
a
you're right,
yeah.
Mike. It's not fingernails.
It
These
looks like
are like
Wolverine, right?
rounded claws, right?
I
And
would bet it looks like Wolverine was there if I had to take a guess.
exactly though, that's exactly what it
Yeah.
was. And we were lucky enough. Well, one of our guys, he can climb like a chimpanzee, and
Yeah.
he got up about a good 18, 19 feet. He took pictures of one claw mark where you got the
Oh wow.
thumb because it must have stopped. It clawed up and then grabbed on and stopped, and it's just absolutely amazing.
Wow.
I know this is not a black bear because black bear has
Yes.
small claws. A brown bear
Oh, yeah.
is gigantic.
Well, Pennsylvania only has black bear too, and they only get
Yeah,
so big.
Exactly.
They only
Yeah.
get so big. You can't mistake a black bear. I've seen, you know, living in Catskills, Woodstock area, whatever, Ulster. I mean, I saw black bears left and right. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They walk around willy nilly. They don't care.
right.
You
yeah.
know,
Exactly.
and they would just tear my trash. The mother would sit the cubs on my front steps and tear through my trash, and she knew I wasn't gonna come. I wasn't gonna open my door. She knew it.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, whatever, till she got what she wanted, and it is what it is. You know, sometimes it would happen at night. Sometimes whatever. They just don't care there. But anyway, you can't mistake a black bear, especially. But or the marks they leave. Yeah.
Absolute,
Yeah.
absolute different markings.
Pennsylvania is a loaded area, though. In general, I mean,
Oh
it
yeah.
is
Sure it is.
it's loaded. I love going across the border there. I actually went to Ohio, visited some guys that do a lot of good research out there. Uh, maybe 3 months ago. Long drive. The weather was pretty sketchy. On the way there, there was trailers thrown everywhere from the wind and the rain.
Oh man.
And on the way back, I was still, you know, I still had a little like trauma from like seeing that all like on the on the
Yeah.
way there. And it was only like 5 days later I was coming back, and I was like kind of, it was just like I wasn't sure when I was gonna leave. I left it open ended, and that morning just events happened where I was like, all right, I gotta go. Like I had to go back. So I just started driving kind of off the cuff and not really looking at I wasn't thinking to look at the weather across from Ohio to Long Island, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And halfway across Pennsylvania, I hit snow, and it came down fast. I mean, really, really fast. And people were sliding around the highway, and the tractor trailers were just going past me like it was nothing. And I got 4-wheel drive on, and you look one way and there's a ditch in the middle, or the other way is like you shoot off, and there's like a
Yeah.
1,000-foot drop or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I said screw this, and I would look at the signs because we were going slow enough, with the snow being real thick. It was going slow enough where it would say like whatever town was coming up, 2 towns were coming up in each direction, and then it would say 2 miles. And I would look at the sign and I would punch it in Airbnb as fast as I could and start scrolling and trying to find something I could afford really fast, like for an overnight, whatever. I had to get off the road.
Yeah.
And I ended up in this place called Bald Eagle State Park or something like that. I ended
Okay.
up like 30 miles off the highway. Whatever. I didn't care. It had no heat. It was horrible. I was wearing 3 pairs of socks. I couldn't sleep. I was walking in circles. I had the tiny little oven that they had on all night. And then I would
Ugh.
open the door and close it to let the CO2, the carbon monoxide out or whatever, and it was just horrible. And I would fall asleep from being too tired. And then I had an alarm set for every 30 minutes because if I fell asleep, I wanted to jolt myself back up because I was like, if I fall asleep for a couple of hours, I'm going to die.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
I'm not gonna get up. It was that cold. Um, I would even go outside and shovel, like just to move my,
Right.
it was a small cabin, so even walking around was just not doing the trick. And so I'd start my car, run the heat in there, whatever. It doesn't matter. So the point I was getting to is Pennsylvania's loaded, right? So all this stuff happens, and I can't wait to get out of there. So I'm literally like looking out the window. The roads are horrible in this place. This little back, where this little back neighborhood on behind a bunch of farms that I came through. I don't really know where I am because I'm just winging it, trying to get to safety. And I hear the plow in the morning, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I go outside, I slam the door behind me, and I just get in my truck, and I'm like behind the plow within a couple minutes. Going out of the neighborhood, I'm like waiting for the plow, kind of, you know what I mean? So like I'm going nice and slow and taking my time, and there's everybody and their mother outside shoveling, right? And somebody has this big, huge Bigfoot, those cutouts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Has one of those on their lawn. So I said, yeah, screw it. Like I'll hop out and say something. And I did, and then somebody else noticed like my Bigfoot sticker or whatever, and then they came over and blah blah blah. Before you know it, I got like a crowd of 40 to 60-year-olds. I don't know, a dozen of them maybe, all telling me
Wow.
they're Bigfoot sightings from
Nice.
the area. I mean, I'm like,
Nice.
I don't, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I should be recording this. Like,
You're right.
this is so good, like, and a couple of them were like, I don't know if I saw a big, and I didn't dive into the Dogman thing, but I know what they wanted to say, but they were like, I don't know if mine was a Bigfoot, it was weird
Yeah.
looking, and like it, and I'm like, oh, I know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
That's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, it made me feel like, maybe I ended up in this random weird place, for a minute to kind
For a
of,
reason. Yeah.
yeah, to kind of hear these people out, and it was interesting
Absolutely.
because I don't think they all, even though they were all neighbors and on the same like T street, right? Like it was like the street coming in the neighborhood and then the next block. And you know what, the day after, like the morning after a snow when you're shoveling and it's like everything's dead silent, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody's anywhere. There's no cars going by. There's no like nature going crazy, whatever. A couple of birds chirping, right? But like it's quiet. All you hear is
Yeah.
like snow shovels and plows,
Yeah.
or snow blowers if you're fortunate enough, I guess. But Yeah, I don't know. I think I was going somewhere with that story. So yeah, but it was anyway. Yeah, so even just it's where I was going with Pennsylvania originally. Sorry, I went on such a tangent.
That's
But
all right, man.
even just throwing a dart at a random place, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I bumped into a whole crap load of people who had experiences, and
sure.
they all were open, like open to willy nil, very willing to just discuss it. And I kind of was thinking about that on the ride home, and I was a little jealous, a little envious, that uh and it's like that when you get to Whitehall too, and other places, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
places where these things are very accepted, and then
yes,
there's other places where it's not. And
yep,
Mm.
and it don't matter what the reason is. Sometimes it's like, don't you, whatever. I mean, sometimes people just turn a blind eye to it. Sometimes it's, whatever. The same reason I guess like sometimes don't let a McDonald's in, right? Like, oh, this is like a,
yeah,
fancy place or whatever. Like,
right, right.
No, I know what he's saying, Jay, because when I went to LBL, I went to Kentucky LBL, and nobody wanted to talk about Dogman. I mean, we questioned many people, DA Roberts and I, and people just turn away and walk away from you. The
wow.
lady at the Welcome Center, right in LBL, I went to talk to her, and she just turned and walked away from me about it. I mean, you're at the Welcome Center, you're selling T-shirts, stickers, and stuff, and not one on the Dog Man though, nothing. But nobody wanted to talk about it. Now on the Tennessee side, oh, everybody and their mother's coming out. The grandma, hey, bring Will grandma out, and she'll tell you about it. Yeah, okay. I mean, there's states that are right next to each other, right?
There was, yeah, I know what you mean because I know exactly what you mean. And I mean, I live in it, but I've also traveled all over the place. And even in Florida, it was like that too in some areas. And then you would get like near Ocala, and it would be like bing, 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 bing. Like, it became this like thing where it was like, oh, it's like, I don't want to say popular or like trending, but it was like so
But
acceptable.
accepted. Yeah,
Yeah, to just be open about it.
right.
And, there's little things I guess you notice after a while being in this field or whatever you want to call it, right? Or, like these little tiny hints that we all, um, whether it's a little sticker on the car or like a little hat or
Something.
like whatever, you
Yeah,
start to like recognize each other, like how Jeep people like like give each
yeah,
other thumbs up,
yeah,
like
yeah. It's true.
yeah.
It's true. It's
Um,
true. So,
trying to
Mike,
think
what
of,
else you got going on down there? Anything?
oh man, it's always very active. The skies have been crazy active. Not something. That's another thing I never
Yeah,
really was interested in, but it just forced its way into my life. Just by looking up, which I never really did.
yeah,
Um, I made swimming a big force of habit to exercise this summer. Really, really forced myself, and I was trying to do 2-a-days and really forced myself to do 2-a-days, and I would miss it sometimes for certain reasons, and I'd just said, screw it, I'm going to go in at night. I don't even care, and it was warm enough to do. And I would find myself in between, doing like knee highs and this and whatever, and walking in circles and whatever, trying to exercise certain parts, or like I would just kind of like float to get my body like, stretch it and like get
yeah.
going, whatever. And I was just looking up at the sky while I was doing it, and it was dark, and there was these things going everywhere, and I had seen them before, but not in droves like this. And it's not, you can easily look up satellites and whatever. I've been, planes and helicopters and whatever. You could do your own research if you want, but I say to people like you should look up. Like I don't know if it's active like this everywhere or whatever, but I mean, the other night I was at a guy's house out east, and I said, "Oh shit, look at this! I've been seeing these everywhere lately." And like within 20 minutes, we saw like 3 dozen.
Wow.
And some of them were going on the same trajectory, and they were crisscrossing and going everywhere. And some of them moved faster than others. Some, and again, it's not, you know, we satellites only go past maybe one every couple of days at best, maybe every week, whatever the case is. You could get this like Flight 19 radar. And I mean, after a while, you've been outside and you look up enough, a helicopter and a plane, how high they can go. And, some people explain it away as space junk. I don't think it's that easy.
Me neither.
I don't think it's that easy to explain. I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, I saw a UFO mothership or something and I can make details. Because but whatever these things are that look like stars just going through the stars, they're up there. They're up there really, really high and doing things. I watched one go boop, boop, make a 90 degree. I saw one do a Z once. I can't tell you if it was within a 5-foot space or a 5,000-foot space, because I don't know what space is like. I have no idea. I've never been up there, but these things intrigue me. So I've been just looking up there.
Right.
I don't have answers. If you look, I don't have answers, but the phenomenon of it, the what's the word for it? Anomaly part of it, I enjoy.
Well, that's something I've been telling people for dozens of years. When you're out there in a forest or when you're just outside, look up. Nowadays, everybody's got their face inside their cell phone. You're in the forest looking for a cryptid, and you're looking down. I mean, yeah, you can look down and see if there's snakes or anything going on, but look up. You never know what's up there. You might have a mountain lion in a tree looking down at you. You might have a large snake in a tree. So look up, because there's just so much you're going to miss.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a mantra of mine for a long time. Look up.
Look up.
Because you're just missing half of the world.
Yeah.
Mountain lions are great. I'm glad you brought that up, because I meant to bring them up before. There's something that we have here in the Northeast. Well, everywhere really. I mean, they're sprinkled about, and you could have one around and never know it.
Absolutely.
And they got so good, like recently, they got so good at like coyotes and wolves, and even people tracking them, that they started to leave. They would kill, like make a kill, leave it for the scavengers or the people, whatever, and then kill again somewhere else, and then finally kill again, and go take it up somewhere else, and that way they would be left alone. And like throw people off the trail, throw the coyotes, whatever, the wolves, whatever was posing an issue to them, just to remain secret,
Yeah,
I mean,
guys on Joe Rogan, man, that said they followed this one big Tom, this big cat for a week, and he did that 9 times to throw off the wolves. Wow. Made 9 kills.
That's see, that to me, that's amazing. Now, so
amazing.
Yeah, like, so if we have, just think about that. And I don't know, man. It's so easy to see how well we get beat in the woods. Yes. You know what I mean? And these guys, I guarantee these guys who are tracking that, Tom, we're really good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of us like to think that we know, well, I know everything about Bigfoot. I know how to track them and this and that. If they want to dust you, they're gonna dust you. You're never gonna find them, and it's just the way it is, And like I said earlier, I think after a while we start to pick up these little things, and learn their ways and stuff a little bit, and that might be in our area. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're gonna find one or you're gonna, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you'll see little signs of them that don't add up to anything else.
Exactly.
And Long Island's a good spot, honestly. I love it because it's kind of easy. It's kind of easy because we don't have coyotes, wolves, bears. We don't have them. All we got is deer. So fox, whatever. But we don't even have coyote really. Sometimes they swim across from Connecticut because it's very close, very, very close. And there's a lot of island hopping that they do in between. But but sometimes they miss and like hit Manhattan. Pretty much as soon as they hit Long Island, people hear them and rat them out, and then they get picked up, or they kill somebody's chicken or whatever. But there's been times where I've gotten called into an area because a bunch of chickens were disappearing and they couldn't find signs of anything, And You know, what grabs a chicken and doesn't leave a feather? You know, a bunch of chicken. I mean, dozens and dozens
Exactly.
of chicken and doesn't leave a feather.
Yep.
Doesn't leave a drop of blood. Like, I'm not saying I
Yeah.
know what did it, but I'm saying it
Wasn't anything normal.
wasn't your average bear. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Like,
had a guy we interviewed, Mike, a while back that had the same thing. When we interviewed John, Nick, how he
Yeah,
had, what was it, 26 chickens he had in his field that they did that too?
yeah,
Yeah, 26 chickens, Mike. No blood, no feathers, nothing,
yeah.
just
I'm from
dead.
Texas.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas? Yeah, Texas. It's an interesting spot, you know. It really is.
Yes.
I would like to I would like to get back down there and kind of. I mean, it's a huge state. I mean, you forget it.
Well, I
Yeah.
figured out what the problem was and why he was having so many dogman sightings and what was going on is because they were building housing over there. And
Yeah.
as they were taking down the forest area, they were pushing the cryptids, further and
Sure.
further along the river. And he does have a water source over there. And the
Sure.
water source is also a food source, fish. And deer
Absolutely.
and other things will have to go there anyway, to drink. So I mean, he was like, well, why are they coming my way all of a sudden? And sure enough, they're putting up condos, they're putting up houses,
Yep.
taking down all the forest area, and yeah, he was having a problem there for a while.
You know, that's it's interesting to me. You know, and I think to an extent, the uh the cryptids have a little more of like a a grudge towards us than average animals.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
I mean, maybe that's just something I picked up on. You know what I mean? But I call it making amends when I see stuff like that. I know I'm like, oh man, this is probably pissing them off. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's not things like that the average person thinks about. But I'll be like, oh, this is not gonna end well. You know, whatever the case may be. Like, oh, there was like a huge area where I know they hung out in, you know, and
Yeah.
boom, like you said, condos pop up and like it's leveled and like, you know, it just seems like it happened like fast, you know.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's scary, you know, because like you said, they go somewhere else and you don't know how they're gonna react to that, you know.
Exactly.
You really don't.
No.
I mean, you see, they're similar in a way as like us. They're creatures of habit to a point, and maybe the housing and the construction and everything has cut off their pathway that they would normally take towards the river, and in which case they're going to have to go around. And more people they were seeing it. The dog man out there, and I guess in John's case, Dogman he and his wife had a baby, so he had juveniles now running around. Plus, they had a hanger oner guy, a different Dogman from maybe another tribe that's just hanging with them. So as the construction kept coming towards John's farm, he saw more and more of things that were going on, and saw more and more Dogman sightings. He actually had three black SUVs pull up, and
Oh,
he wasn't
yeah.
home at the time, but his neighbors saw it. And
Yeah.
fully jocked up guys got out and they were searching the area. I think they wanted to talk to him, but he worked a double shift, so he never got to talk to him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's it's
scary.
something. It's really amazing, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's
And
scary when you hear about those units or whatever you want to call them going around like
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Humans scare me more than anything.
Yeah, me too. That's why people say, "Why are you carrying a firearm in the woods?" Well, it's human beings that
I
scare me.
know.
It's not animals.
I get it. Yeah, I know. I know.
It's you never know what kind of weirdo you're gonna run into out there. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, you'd be again. I can honestly say I've been to war, mind you. I have had my
Yeah,
life threatened more times by poachers, humans in the woods doing wrong. You know
sure.
what I mean? Doing wrong, and that's where my encounters of hellish nature come from. Is me not knowing, I mean, they get the drop on you because they're usually in a tree, and you know what I mean.
Right.
By the time I catch sight of them, you know what I mean. I'm panning everything, whatever. Yeah, I'm good at taking things in, but they see me first. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times they saw me first, and once you see them and they see that you see them, they have to make a decision. You know,
Yep.
if I let this guy out of here, is he gonna rat me out? Am I, you know what I mean? I don't know, whatever. So, you know, if they decide to pick you off in the middle of the woods, who the hell's gonna know about it? You know,
Nobody. Yeah.
that's the worst part about hiking off trail is you bump into. I mean, that's the worst thing, honestly. I can't. You know, ticks, snakes, everything under the sun. You know, cryptids, bears, whatever. I don't care. I think humans pose the most threat to me.
Oh, without a doubt. That's why these cryptids and such and certain animals don't want anything to do with us because they know that we are the only species on Earth that offs each other in record numbers, genocide,
Right.
that kind of
Oh,
crap.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And
Well,
I
these.
think the dog man is smart enough to know. You know, Mike alluded to this, and it's something I've been saying for the last, God, 7 years now. Smart
Yeah.
enough to know that if they started to go on a killing spree in any one
Yeah.
section, that we as humans will not stop until we've eradicated them.
That's right.
They actually don't when they could. You know, they'll stick to the
Right.
deer and maybe go after Sasquatch, maybe go after, a moose or bear even, but for the most part, they leave the humans alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen where they actually will they won't ruin the deer in a sense. They won't like cut its flesh or anything or hurt it in a way. I don't know how they do it because I don't see it happen. You know what I mean? But I see the aftermath, and it looks like a fresh, perfectly good deer. It looks like a deer's just laying on its side, right? Because it
Yes.
looks perfectly healthy. But they must like slap it in the head really hard and break its neck or something, and like, and I'll find a couple of them out there, and it's like maybe they know that the deer are gonna move on, and they're not ready to move on or whatever,
Right.
and I can't imagine anything else, any other reason. And a lot of times I've seen it where there's not even trees around, like,
Right.
so it's not like, oh, this deer like ran and broke its neck, hit a tree or something, or it jumped a fence
Yeah.
and hit something. Like, I mean, I've documented a few times, just to say, like, just to put it out to other people, like, what the hell, am I losing my shit? You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right.
am I sorry for, but am I
No, you're good.
like, am I losing my mind here, or like, am I right? Am I right? Sometimes
Yeah.
you like, but you second guess yourself because you're like, why would this happen? But then as you go down the road, you realize, like, oh wow, okay, like this might make sense, that might make sense. But yeah, them killing people, Nick, I don't think makes sense to them because, right, like you said, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
It's gonna cause them hell later on.
Yeah. They
And
know people are going to come down hard, hard on them if they pull that stuff.
yeah, I think they're a little more tolerant of us, like in places like where I live, because we live like so close to them, and there's so many people around them. There's such
Yeah.
populated areas right at the edge of the wood lines and stuff. So they either have to cross over us or know how to elude a bunch of us. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And not that mass is going to the woods because nobody really does ever. I mean, I've got thousands of videos that prove that nobody's around ever. But
Yeah.
so I mean, but unless you're on the beach or near the beach, you're not gonna bump into humans. That's where they flock to. But uh, yeah, it's so I think this is why people that encountered Sasquatch or Dogman in the middle of nowhere, kind of, right, like in these,
Yeah.
like, let's say Alaska, right? I think that these types of encounters are ones possibly that go very, very far from us, like on purpose.
Sure.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they can go anywhere they want, right? Like for the most part. So if there's ones that are like really, really, really far away from us, like I don't think that's gonna be a good experience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
it went way, 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 way away from us for a reason.
Yeah.
And Maybe it was born there. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I know everything, but it just seems to
No,
me
I see what you're saying.
because there's a better chance of. Okay, say that there's like a little pond that the Dogman goes to all the time,
Yeah.
in the middle of the pine barren and whatever, and it drinks from there habitually. It doesn't necessarily test the water, right? And the young ones go ahead of the mom or dad or whatever and start drinking without thinking about. And there's a better chance of humans polluting that than there is in the middle of, Colorado or
Oh, for
Alaska, right?
sure. Yeah.
Sometimes it's unintentional. Sometimes sometimes it's just people dump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I saw a county, Suffolk County in the Pine Barrens. Somebody was dumping there illegally over the winter. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were dumping. I thought a cryptid was posing a threat. That's what I thought because I saw cops from every department, everything. I got into the good area and this long road that I go down where there's a lot of little hot spots where I just don't. There's the only place where you can park a car, kind of. You know what I mean? And on
Yeah.
every one of these spots for about 10 miles was a cop car, and the cops were in the woods. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what the hell was going on? You know what I mean? Like I'm like,
Yeah.
they gotta know what I know right now, or something's going on, So I'm like frantic,
Yeah.
I'm searching the news. All I could come up with was somebody was illegally dumping, and
Oh, wow.
so I don't. I
That's
guess
awful.
I guess they take it that seriously because it's like they're trying to preserve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Gentlemen, I hate to do this. It's been an hour already.
Has it
Well,
been?
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
glad. I'm glad it goes. It's
Mike,
always an easy hour.
hang out for a minute after I stop the recording, would you?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And everyone out there, we'll be back next week with another great show. And everyone, God bless. Be good to each other and have a good evening.
Good night now.